This is Tapachula. I'm off to find some new friends, people who have been sleeping in tents. It feels like I'm going to a formal by myself, where I'm going to find a partner to dance with. That sort of awkwardness, like, hey guys, who here needs some help? Or hey guys, who can I follow to the next town? So anyway, God's with me. I don't mind looking like an idiot, because often I do. This is the town, Buenos Manos. So yeah, it's pretty quiet at the moment. It's a Sunday. Saunas. So this is one of the camps with a lot of different people. ¿Cómo se llama, hermano?
Frasnes.
¿Cómo?
Frasnes.
Frasne, mucho gusto. ¿En cuántos tiempo aquí?
Tengo 5 meses.
Wow, 5 months. ¿En por qué?
Yo estaba esperando el carnet de aquí para que siga adelante.
Okay, so tú es por el permiso tú vas a ir a México, ¿sí?
Sí, voy a salir.
Okay. So he's waiting 5 months to get a document to allow him to pass to Mexico. ¿En tú habla? No problema.
No me grabé y fea.
No duele. It's just...
¿Te duele o no te duele? No. Camarógrafo Nixon desde aquí, de Perú. De Perú.
duele. ¿Sí? ¿Sientes bien?
El que usan aquí los ladrones para romperle las...
Solo un minuto.
Alguna.
No estás apretando, ¿eh?
Estuvo grabando, me dijo que grabara.
Cualquier número que sea, ahí anda 25, 26.
So this is the Migo's boots. There's no plantiers, it's not comfortable when he walks. So we're going to put something in there to make it more comfortable for him. ¿Cómo se llama?
Aiding,
Hey, mucho gusto. ¿De dónde eres?
hondureño,
From Honduras. ¿En cuántos tiempo tú aquí? ¿Cuándo llegaste?
5 días.
5 días. ¿Cuántos días más?
Tengo de estar un mes,
Un mes.
ahorita sí, pero para llegar aquí 5 días.
Ah, porque necesito, ¿puedo tu papers? ¿Papel?
Papeles. Sí, estoy esperando.
Es muy malo, muchas personas esperando. So a lot of people waiting for their papers para Estados Unidos, ¿sí? So they can't go anywhere until they get their papers sorted from America. ¿Cuál parte en Estados Unidos tú quieres vas a ir?
Virginia.
Ah, Virginia. Let's go to Virginia. ¿Cómo se llama, hermano?
Kennedy.
¿Cómo?
Kennedy.
Mucho gusto, mi amigo David. ¿De dónde eres?
Venezuela.
Hey, estoy muy emocionado para tu país. Un día yo quiero voy a ir. ¿Por qué tú salir de tu país? Porque es muy, muy lindo.
Sí.
¿Por qué tú salir?
Por la situación económica.
Yo reúno muchas mismas personas. Tu país es muy, muy bonito, pero económico
Está
situation.
muy duro económicamente ahorita.
Sí. ¿Cuál parte tú quieres voy a ir? No, vas a ir en Estados Unidos.
Sí.
¿Cuál parte?
Ahí para Tesa.
¿Sí?
Quiero.
No, yo no. This is para... ¿Tú necesitas? Es muy diferente.
¿Seguro que le dan bien?
Ahí está. Ahí están cuadrando los otros 100 para que sean 300 que tengan en la cuenta del...
Ya no tiene 300 porque le ha dado plata.
Ah, por...
Just aquí. Amigo, ¿cuántos años tiene?
No.
Sí. 23. 23. And where are you from? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde soy?
Aquí.
No. Ecuador.
En Ecuador. ¿Cuál parte en Ecuador?
¿Ah?
¿Cuál parte en Ecuador? ¿Quito?
No. Esmeralda.
Ah, no conozco ese lugar.
Televisor, un beto, ¿eh?
Pero no problema.
Grabo por aquí.
Eso pluma. Hay que poner tu nombre
Aquí tenemos el cachudo.
Ponlo aquí.
Al de Mecra.
Ponlo para hablarle. Este tiene 15 años, nunca ha probado totona.
15.
Por mi madre que tiene 14, va para 14 y es virgen. Nunca ha dado un beso. Tiene el más grande este clavo que el huevo de él. Tiene el huevito chiquitico, huevo de gato.
Cachudo.
Tiene más dientes que una pela de perro.
Cachudo.
Es virgen, miren.
Ríete, pa' él. Ríete.
Esta es rica, rompe pelota.
My friend here hurts
Pero
when he
igualito yo
walks.
estoy aquí.
Cachudo.
¿Y a dónde están los otros?
Some new
¿Dónde están los
plantains.
otros?
Ya los va. Tiene más grande ahí que los cachudos.
And we just wrapped her hand. She's got stitches in her hand. She's had it for about 7 days. I told her that generally stitches, I've been told, staying for 8 to 10 days. So she'll need to speak with the doctor. We're going to go buy some tablets for someone who's got a fever. She's not looking so good. And this girl, she leaves today. I'm gonna stick here for a couple of more days. Here's the pharmacy. All right, we just bought some medication. We talked to the pharmacist. The pharmacist said that she needs to take a tablet every 8 hours. There she is, not. Okay. Este es para usted. Okay. So. Necesito comer antes, so es chocolate. Okay. 10 pastillas. Necesito comer antes. Un pastilla, 8 horas.
8.
¿Sí? Necesito
Necesitas comer.
antes. Sí. ¿Es cómodo?
Amigo,
Trata de salir por 2 días.
amigo. Una pregunta sobre una cosa que tengo acá. Aquí. Habla. No quiero.
¿Cómo que se llama?
David.
David. Foto con mi esposa y...
Sí. Just I'm going to show you what a typical breakfast that I love to eat when I'm traveling. Regardless where I am, this is my go-to. So, firstly, let me see. I have some bananas. I have some apples, depending where I am. And I mix that with some yogurt. Try and get as less sugar as I can. I have some oats, which is called avena. And I have some nuts, which is called mani. And for some extra protein, some peanut butter. It's very hard to find natural peanut butter. So this one has a little bit of sugar, give it a bit of flavor. But that is my breakfast. If I had to make it perfect, I put a little bit of granola and some cinnamon. That's my favorite breakfast. Very good. My breakfast, my favorite breakfast. Now, you need to know, firstly, when you don't have the right instruments, the right tools. So I don't have a knife. So apple, bite, spit, bite, spit. You probably don't want to do it in front of anyone, and you probably don't want to share it. Wouldn't bother me, but most people wouldn't want to share. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Usted dónde eres? Honduras. ¿En cuántos tiempo tú vives aquí? Un año. He's living here over there for 1 year because he's waiting on his papers. Ridiculous. Tu situation muy malo, mano. ¿Es tu hija? Hola, hija. Okay. Try to conseguir donations para mi trabajo de different personas. So we're just putting some planters in his shoes to make it a bit more comfortable. Tu permito, no problema. Tu habla, no problema.
Tapachula.
¿Cómo se llama?
¿Asiel?
Aseo, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto, digo la mujer. Ando enfermo.
¿Qué?
Anda con fiebre, ha andado mal el sentido.
¿Sí? Ok. ¿Cuánto es tiempo?
Ay, 3 días, no lo he llevado a chequear porque no me han mandado dinero.
For a handful of people, but there was one lady that I asked after I helped her husband. I gave him just some inner soles for his shoes to make them more comfortable. She told me that her child has had a fever for 2 days and he vomited this morning and he hasn't eaten much. He didn't sleep well last night. I said, well, have you taken him to a doctor? She said, no, I can't afford it. So he looked about 3 or 4 years old. So anyway, so I snuck off. I didn't want to promise anything, but I snuck off and I went to the pharmacist and said, hey, listen, I'm a podiatrist, I'm not a doctor, I'm here just to volunteer and help the migrants. I was talking to a lady, her son has had a fever for 2 days, he's quite unwell, he didn't sleep well last night, vomited this morning. I want to buy some electrolytes and I want to buy some ibuprofen, so it's just like for fever. So she gave me, she asked how old he was and she gave me a liquid version of the medicine. I bought some bananas because he has to eat before he takes the medicine, and it gave him some electrolytes. So the family was super happy and they said, you know, thank you 1,000 times. And I was able to give some bananas to another family because I met a family today that had been living here for 1 year. I couldn't believe it. Muchos gentes.
Mucho.
A lot of people here.
Sí.
¿Cómo se llama?
Asiel.
She speaks English.
Not very well.
No, your English is good. Not many people speak English here.
No.
And where are you from?
Haiti.
Haiti. Okay. And how many days are here?
Aquí 6 meses.
6 meses. Okay.
Porque no tengo cita para trabajar.
¿Puedo papers? Are you waiting for papers en Estados Unidos?
Sí.
Yo rellené 8 personas, 1 año aquí.
1 año aquí, sí.
Wow. Okay, muchos presentes. Wow. A special friend today I just met. He's from Guatemala. Hola, Guatemala. ¿Cuántos años tiene? 42. 42. El momento solito, ¿sí? ¿En tú quieres vas a ir en Estados Unidos? ¿Cuál parte? ¿Qué? Okay. ¿Sientes bien? El momento os puedo dinero para tu viaje, ¿sí? Okay, tú la comida. Okay. Gracias, mano. Alright, I'm walking back to Central Park where all the different people from around Latin America, or generally around the world, all the immigrants are sort of staying. I'm getting to the point now, I'm getting pretty bored. This is the 5th day. I'm waiting for 2 Venezuelan families. I've made contact with one of them. The second family I haven't heard from. Getting a bit restless feet and the fact that I just want to leave now. I know, just feel like there's I'm making not much of an impact. I'm not thinking I'm not being naive where every day is going to be an impact day, but just, I don't know. I'm like, what do I do with my time? Sometimes you feel a little bit guilty. You know, I can have a room, I have food, and yeah, I don't know. Just I want to make sure that I'm making the most of my time, and when you have a bit of spare time, or a lot of spare time in my case, you start to feel a bit guilty for it. But anyway, Venezuela. All right, so I was on a phone call and my old hostel boss, or the guy who works at the hostel, called me in because his friend's got a foot problem. Funny that, right place at the right time. I think it's his articulations from his midfoot. So he's just come out of the jungle. He's wearing terrible shoes in the jungle. I think the irritation between his dorsal articulations in his midfoot have created a lot of inflammation there. And just so happens his tendon runs close to those articulations, and it just hurts every time he moves his toe, but mostly hurts when he walks. So I've bought him as a gift some ibuprofen. I've talked to the pharmacist to make sure it's all correct, and I couldn't find sports rigid tape, but I found something to try and offload his midfoot. So that is what we're gonna do. Low dye taping for his arch support to open up his dorsal articulations, and we're gonna see in a minute if it's helped him or if it's been useless. ¿Cómodo? Just poco mejor o no mejor?
Sí, mejor.
Yo pienso caminando
Camina mejor que la...
¿Sí? ¿Mejor? Mira.
Ya puede hablar.
Sí, okay, it's correcto.
Sí.
So it's the articulation is the problem.
La articulación es el problema.
Thank you, ¿yo? Me gustó.
Thank you.
Okay, perfecto.
Oye, ajá, sí. Para que salga de...
¿Cómo se llama?
Orlen Jesús.
Okay, ¿de dónde eres?
De Honduras.
He's from Honduras.
Sí.
And ¿qué es tu problema?
Quebradura, un carro, me caí, me quebré el pie.
En 6 años, hace 6 años.
A ver, 16, 22 años.
Okay, Mustami?
Sí.
Okay, 6 years ago, 2018, had an accident.
Operaciones son estas.
¿En cuántos movimientos? Mustami tu movimiento en el rodeo. Okay, so he's got hardly any movement. He's muy chiquito here, see?
Sí.
Okay, his tendons are really, really tight. Okay, muchos movimiento is normal on this side. Alright, this is not going to change his life, but we're just going to create about 5 millimeters more into his shoe just to lift him up a bit. It's not going to do anything drastic. All it's going to do is just make it more comfortable for him to walk. That's it. It's not going to fix anything. He needs surgery. ¿Cómo se llama?
Alfredo Rolando Morel,
Hey, tu nombre es muy largo. ¿De dónde eres?
de Honduras,
Okay. ¿Por qué tú salí a Honduras?
porque es una vida muy apresionada, peligrosa últimamente en los movimientos, como tiene que despegarse al trabajo. Son zonas privadas por los seres humanos que controlan la vida, como decir, la vida de ellos, hacerla a su modo. Como decir, si usted pasa por una calle y usted se supera, ellos lo van viendo, ellos tratan de quitarle o de apoderarle lo poquito que usted tiene. ¿Me entiende?
Sí.
Entonces usted ya no puede progresar, sino que ellos, cuando usted no cede, ellos le dan.
¿Sí? He said it's bad. We'll get a translator. ¿En cuántos tiempo aquí en Tapachula?
10 meses, casi 11 meses, ya voy a cumplir el año.
11 meses. So cerca
Trabajé en
un año.
una platanera ahí y me corrieron y sufrí esta lesión, perdí la cita y no pude acudir, un montón de problemas, y económicamente miren de volví a caer de vuelta.
¿Cuántos tiempo tú piensas más? ¿O no estoy
¿Aquí?
seguro? Sí.
Desear los papeles para llegar siquiera a esta frontera.
¿Cuándo conseguiste papel? No estoy seguro.
¿Eh?
¿Cuándo conseguir the permiso? ¿Cuándo? Like in un mes o más o...
Ah, me tienen en un lío, como dicen que el mismo número me dieron y tengo que volver a esa cita y entre octubre, noviembre y diciembre me la van a dar, supuestamente.
Bien viaje, hermano. Day changed very quickly. I was supposed to leave today, but I didn't because I'm waiting for a family. So they come tomorrow, so I decided to stay an extra day. And things have just lined out really well. I went to the park today to do some podiatry service there, and the guy was sick, so I was able to buy him some medicine. And as I was walking back to my hostel, I met my friend Aya. She's from Venezuela, and she's called out my name because she remembers me from the jungle, and now we're trying to help her work out how she can get her permit, because she left Tapachula, she's come back to try and organize her permit. So that's the plan for today. Feeling good. 39, ¿sí?
40, amigo.
40.
Sí.
¿Cuándo?
40 de fiebre.
Okay, he has a fever of 40 degrees. He's not drinking any water, he's not eating any food. Bought him some medicine, some ibuprofen for his fever, some electrolytes for his diarrhea, but he can't take anything. So we've told the police, they've told the police he needs to go to hospital. I told them this morning that they need to get him to hospital. He's not doing well. So he's the guy I had lunch with a couple of days ago. So he has a cerebral problem, so he struggles to speak and walk, but he's a really good man. Alright, we're here registering for permission to travel through Mexico. We've got our amigos right here doing what they're doing. So they're registering on the phone, they're helping her do that so she can travel all the way through Mexico. I met a Canadian yesterday and he said, yeah, we're near the beach. And this was in Tapachula. I have been in Tapachula for like 10 days now, waiting for 2 Venezuelan families that I met in the jungle. It's been restless just waiting. This is exactly what I wanted.